Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, I am in the fortunate and unfortunate position where I see federal employees retiring all the time. Some do it very well and have an incredible retirement, which is the fortunate part. And I see others making massive mistakes where many people, despite the balance of their TSP, they blow it. They run out of money far before they want to run out of money. No one wants to ever run out of money, but they do it way too young because they make a number of these mistakes that we're going to dive into today. And if you do these 5 things right, so you avoid these mistakes, you are going to be structured in a great way to make sure you can enjoy your money now, but also never have to worry about running out over the course of your retirement. So let's dive in. Now, if you're a federal employee who wants to retire or already retired and you want help along the way, check out the description. There's tons of helpful resources just for you to make sure you can do just that. Let's dive in. First and foremost is the obvious answer. If you take too much out of your TSP, you're probably going to run out over time. Okay, 8%. What does that have to do with anything, as you see here on the chart? So I've heard people out there, right, that has said, hey, I'm going to take out 8% of my TSP, my investments in retirement, and withdraw that every single year because guess what? The markets over time have averaged 10%, so I'm going to take out 8, and what? That's going to work great, right? Well, no, that's not right. If you every single year took out 8% of your balance, of your investments out, the odds of you running out of money is 50%. Okay, so if you're willing to flip a coin and risk your retirement on that, go ahead and take out 8% a year. It's just simply too much most of the time. Okay, this is why. While on average the market does earn 10% per year, it doesn't earn that every year. If it earned it every year, yeah, you could take out 8%, but it doesn't do it every year. Some years are plus 15, other years are down 10. It just depends. And if you take out 8% when it is down 10, you're eating into your principal, and therefore the ugly cycle of just running out, depleting your money too quickly starts. Okay, so a good rule of thumb is 4%. Okay, that is what they call a safe withdrawal rate. Now, I've got whole videos on this rule, the 4% rule, but long story short, this is how it works. If you have $1 million in your TSP, okay, $1 million, 4% of that equals $40,000, okay, $40,000. So how this 4% rule works is year 1, you take out $40,000. In year 2, you take out $40,000 plus inflation. In year 3, you take out the previous year's amount plus inflation, etc. So basically, $1 million can conservatively and reliably provide $40,000 inflated over time based on inflation, okay, for the rest of your life, no problem. But again, 8%, that is simply 50% of the time you're going to run out of money, okay? You don't want to take that risk. At least I don't want to take that risk. I don't know about you, but I don't want to take that risk. So that's first and foremost. If you take out too much from your investment, you're going to deplete it too soon over time. That's number 1. Next, how are you invested? I talk to so many people that are 100% G-Fund in retirement, and that is a surefire way for your money to be depleted too quickly over time. Because while the C fund averages 10%-ish over time, the G fund averages more like 3% over time, which after inflation is basically a big fat 0. So if you're pulling from an account that's 100% G fund, after inflation when you're earning basically nothing, then over time, that's a recipe for disaster. Your money's not growing over time. Over maybe a 5-year retirement, being 100% G-Fund would work fine. But over a 30-year retirement plus, the odds of you running out of money if you're 100% G-Fund is a lot higher. Now, I'm not saying you should be 100% C-Fund. I'm not saying that. Having some G-Fund or some safer investments is a good part of any good retirement. But 100% in the G-Fund is not the answer. You want to balance. I've got whole videos on finding the right balance of investments for you in retirement. But again, being too conservative is a surefire way to deplete your money really quickly in retirement. Next, early withdrawals. Now, what do I mean here? What you do early in retirement makes a big difference because it'll compound for the rest of your retirement. For example, if you have $1 million in your TSP and in the first year you pull out 200 grand, well then your entire balance, what's left, your principal that you have that can actually grow and make you money over time is forever depleted. to 800,000. Now, I'm not saying it never makes sense. The money's there to be used and enjoyed, certainly. But anything you do early in retirement is going to have a big impact for the rest of your life, okay? So I'm not saying don't take money right away. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be careful. Big early withdrawals can really deplete your principal, and the earning power of your money over time can be depleted significantly when you take tons out at the beginning. Again, find the balance for you, because you want to enjoy your money without running out. So you got to find the balance between both of those things. Next, selling low. So what do I mean here? Let me clean up my board here. Make some room for us, okay? So long story short, we know that the market looks like this, okay? It goes up and down, up and down. It goes like this over time. When the market, let's say, is down here, okay? Let's say the market's down here. It's in a slump. When it's down, do you want to sell your investments? The answer is, I sure hope not, okay? If I was me, I would want to wait until the market is back here, and that is when I'd like to sell my investments. For example, with your house, do you want to sell your house when the housing market is crashed and it's not worth anything? No, we don't want to do that. The same is true for investments. So when the market starts going down and it's crashing, is that the time to sell and move to the G fund? The answer is no. That is the worst time to do that, okay? You want to have a plan so that you don't have to sell when it's low in retirement. And again, I mentioned this up here. If you have some short-term money in the G fund and some long-term money in the C fund that's going to do more like this, then what you can do is when the market is down, you aren't drawing from your C fund. You aren't drawing from your long-term investments. You're drawing from things that don't fluctuate over time, like the G fund, right? So that you can wait to let the money recover over time, okay? You don't have to sell when it is down. And then when things recover, no problem. You could live off that. You could take some out of the C fund then when things are doing well. But again, everyone needs a strategy on how not to sell when the market is down. Because imagine this scenario. Let's say you have $1 million, okay? The first year in your retirement is terrible in the market. And if you're 100% in the market, C fund, let's say your balance goes down to 700 grand, right? The market crashed by 30%. Well, if you start taking withdrawals and you're depleting your principal when it's worth almost nothing, okay, when it's worth 700 grand instead of $1 million. If you had some short-term money in the G fund to pull from to allow your money to recover, that would make a massive, massive difference. So again, it's a balance. You don't want to be 100% G fund, no, but you don't want to be 100% C fund either. They both cause problems, and we don't want that. So long story short, make sure you don't take out too much, right, every single year. Make sure you're not too conservative. Make sure what you do early on isn't going to deplete your principal permanently, as well as don't sell low, meaning have some short-term money along with your C fund or some long-term money to make sure you don't have to sell when the market is down. So those are the strategies. If you can do all of those, you're going to be in a great spot to ensure as best we possibly can that you don't run out of money and you can sleep soundly at night throughout all your retirement, that you know you'll be just fine for the rest of your life. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.